Chocolate, one of the world's favorite sweet indulgences. But there's a bitter truth behind the sweetness. Around the turn of the millennium, the world was shocked when news hit the mainstream about child slavery in cocoa plantations, especially in West Africa. Consumers reacted with horror and boycotts. Legislation and fair trade practices were introduced. Things changed, or so it seemed. Together, the West African countries of Ghana and Côte grow more than 60% of the world's cocoa. The industry is vital to the economies of both. Yet when it comes to this all-important commodity, it is the multinational corporations who control the market and the prices. It is they who have the power and political clout. The multinationals are publicly against child labor. Many policies and programs designed to protect children have been introduced. They have pledged their support for Section 28 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. But is this all just lip service? Why, despite all measures created, is child labor still used? In Ghana, it is still culturally acceptable. In Côte d'Ivoire, it's a tight-lipped secret that child labor is trafficked from other countries in the region. The corporations argue that complex age-old issues are to blame. But deep structural reform can only transpire if the multinationals use their power and clout to drive change. Which begs the question, should multinationals who fail to act be found guilty of corporate criminality? The idea of holding multinational corporations criminally responsible has been fought tooth and nail. Claims are settled out of court and kept quiet with non-disclosure agreements. They have the power to push for standardized legislation across multiple jurisdictions. They have the power to insist a more equitable share of revenue goes to the chronically poor farmers. The aims of the cocoa certification system are noble. But ironically, the high cost of certification itself is a problem. There is disillusionment amongst conforming farmers, as far more beans are exported than are certified. The system is broken. Pioneering research by ENACT suggests that reform is possible through both countries claiming influence in the international cocoa market, and managing the storage and stockpiling of their own cocoa beans would be an important first step. Increasing the price of beans by promoting other uses, managing internal and external government coordination of cocoa production better, legislative and enforcement reform to allow for effective criminal liability for citizens and foreigners. The ECOWAS Community Court of Justice should move to place responsibility on member states and enjoined third parties, including multinationals where human rights violations have occurred. And in the multinationals' home countries, promote universal jurisdiction laws allowing for both civil and criminal actions against those benefiting from illegal activities in cocoa production. It's time for big companies to pay more than lip service. Those who fail to act must be held criminally accountable. Let's protect the cocoa trade by protecting the people in the trade.
According to a recent United States Department of Labor survey, a total of 1.56 million children are being used in cocoa production, cocoa plantations, cocoa farms in both Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. This is shocking, especially because a majority of these children come from neighboring countries, from Burkina Faso, from Mali, from Guinea. And because the cocoa industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, it is our hope that we can get the attention of multinational companies who are involved in manufacturing of chocolate to actually stem this problem, to put it to an end once and for all, and in a meaningful manner. It's important to highlight this, and this is what this research is about. failure of these multinational companies to address and arrest child trafficking and child labor in the cocoa industry in both Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire should result in some form of corporate criminal liability for multinational companies.